Does anybody else here just not care about this entire experience? I don't. Now, raise your hand if you don't care about this experience. Say I. Say it with me. I do not care about this experience. No, I'm just kidding. Don't say it with me. I can't hear you anyways. But it's not a matter of circumstances. It's not a matter of me, complaining about my circumstances. It's not about money. It's not about mental health. It's not even about how rigged this entire system is. It's something different. And I kind of pictured myself in a scenario where I have everything, everything I could possibly want. And in my case, it's not even that much because I am not a materialistic person. But when I thought about this, I'm like, wait, so if that's everything I want, then, and I have all my goals accomplished, that's it? Is that it? And I'm not quite sure how to explain it. It's not a matter of me not wanting enough or not having ambition. Because trust me, in this world, I really do not want that much. When I really think about what I want out of this life, it's insanely simple. Money so I don't stress about money, even though I hate money. A shelter, preferably my own shelter. Well, not even just preferably, I mean, that's obviously ideal. Food. Yeah, food is awesome. And some hobbies. That's it. That's all I need. I do not care about traveling. I do not care about buying expensive things. I do not care about making friends. I do not care about dating. I do not care about so many things about this human experience. I don't. And I started to ask myself, why is that the case? Tragic reality, why don't you care? No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that third person stuff. So I was like, why do I not care about this stuff? And I think the answer is this entire experience, this human experience, this realm, it's severely limited in ways that do not satisfy me. And I don't even know how to explain this exactly. Just think about fiction, for example. Think about all sorts of things you could do in fiction. Well, not you, but think about all of the things that you can, imagine, basically. Flying, sorcery, fantasy, sci-fi, aliens. That's all really cool, right? But when you look at this world, you don't get to experience the coolness. You only imagine the coolness. And when I look at my imagination runs wild. My imagination is crazy. I can imagine the most random things of all time. Seriously, especially when I listen to music. Like, I have the most random imaginations and dreams possible. I'm not even sure exactly how to explain it because it's just so random that it doesn't fit into one particular category. But when I compared my imagination to these earthly experiences are severely lacking. And that is why I do not care about this entire human experience. Because when I look at all of these things when it comes to these earthly experiences, not that interesting, guys. Not that interesting. Even the most entertaining things of all time. Well, of all time. I mean, to me. They're fun, don't get me wrong. I like me some skateboarding. I like me some good food. I have all sorts of hobbies. But those hobbies are not enough. And the reason why they're not enough is because they're grounded in this earthly realm. There is no way to make the depths of my imagination come to life. There is no way. So what I feel like the things I enjoy, it's more so me just settling with what I have. I like skateboarding. But something about it, the reason why I can skateboard all day have fun, and come home and feel dissatisfied with this world is because it's too earthly for me. It's just too earthly. It's too grounded in reality. It is. And when you think about ways that people have fun, entertainment, I feel like a lot of us that enjoy video games, anime, TV shows, movies, the reason why all of that is so popular and loved is because it defies this earthly realm. It goes above and beyond it. But the way I think now, the reason why those things don't satisfy me is because you're consuming. You're not experiencing it. Yes, that anime was really cool. Yes, that video game. Oh my god, Dark Souls. It's so cool, isn't it? You get to experience, a medieval fantasy setting. So cool, right? Not. It doesn't do it for me anymore. It does not. And it used to do it for me, don't get me wrong. I used to love video games, TV shows, anime. And when I loved those things, it was primarily because it helped me escape into another realm. But the moment I realized that I'm not really escaping, I'm not. I'm not experiencing these things. I'm consuming it. I'm watching it. And that's what I mean. Our imagination, Our imagination makes us think that, these things can actually be possible. It makes us feel like we're inside of these things that we imaginate. But we're not. We're in the real world. Yes, we're in the real world, guys. And the real world is pretty bland. Think about all of the stuff that that this world has going on for it. Politics. Politics. I'm gonna make a video about this, so I don't want to get too into politics. But that's the kind of stuff this realm has to offer, guys. Isn't that very interesting, politics? Oh, I'm on the left. Oh, I'm on the right. I don't give a shit what you're on. Like, it's so insane to me how our imagination can be so wild, can be so fun, and then the real world is like, yeah, politics, left, right, laws. I'm like, that's so boring. Like, the things that this world has to offer is so boring. It's so uninteresting, and this is why I don't care about most things. Well, honestly, I don't even care about pretty much anything, to be honest. What else does this world have going for it? Jobs, money. The sidewalk right here. Sidewalk? I don't even know what that is. Buildings. Businesses. Big box stores. Corporations. That's so boring, guys. When you think about all of the things you can imagine in your head, doesn't this entire realm just pale in comparison? Isn't it just a disgrace? And this is what I mean by I don't care about this world. It's not a matter of me not finding something I enjoy. It's that the options of things there are to enjoy, it's all grounded in this realm. I want to fly. I want to use magic. I want to turn invisible. I want to teleport across the world. Those things are things that you can, well, not things you could do. I mean, those things are things that go above and beyond this earthly realm. But obviously you can't do them. But what can you do? You could be a professional football player. You could be a professional basketball player. And you know what I think about that? I think that's all boring. I think everything about this world is just boring. Seriously. The most fun aspects about this world are things that stem from our imagination. It's not things that are actually here. It's things that we imagine, that we try to make a simulation of via TV shows, movies, art, all of that stuff. Hell, even music does it for me. I'm a big metalhead myself. When I listen to a metal song, at least my favorite songs, it doesn't even feel like music at that point. I like it because it makes me feel like I'm going above and beyond this earthly realm. Most music does not do that to me, so I don't listen to most music, but I don't know. Do you guys catch my drift with all this? This entire experience is completely boring. Like, life is so boring. And when people say life is fun, life is interesting, life is cool, I just don't agree. And I'm not speaking for everyone. I'm sure there are people that genuinely believe that. But for me, the most fun things are your imagination. I feel like our soul, our consciousness, is trapped inside of this body, this mind. That's where the real world, our imagination is our real world, guys. That's where our real world is. Our real world is deep inside of our imagination, but we're tied to this world. We're tied to this earth. We're tied to this bland place where you have to do something called a job. Jobs. Like, it's insane, isn't it? You could you could be a highly creative person. You could make beautiful art. And when I say art, that can encompass many things, not just real art as in paintings, but you could turn your imagination into life. You can. I mean, that's what people do when they make TV shows, movies, manga, comic books. That's all in their head, guys. They imagine those characters in their head. But doesn't that just prove my point? When it comes to actually doing things in person, doing things that are attached to this realm and not your imagination, it's trash. It's boring. And this goes for even things that I enjoy, skateboarding. Skateboarding is fun, but it's boring at the same time. The fun part is it helps my, physical activity. I find it all to be fun, to be honest. But at the same time, it's not fun. It's fun because it gives me some adrenaline. It makes me feel, satisfied, I guess. But it's not fun because it's just too earthly for me. It's too earthly. My imagination just completely annihilates. Like, when it comes to my imagination, it just makes everything else just feel so bland. That's why, again, I could go skateboarding or whatever other fun activity I do. Like, I could take a nice walk. I like to take walks. I could just go to nature, just experience some nature. But I'd come home, I'd delve deep into my imagination, whether it be sleeping or just daydreaming or just staring at the ceiling and thinking. Why does it feel like that is just so much more fun? Why does it feel like that is it just makes all these other things seem so lame? Like, I can't be the only one that thinks like this. Reality is so boring, guys. And again, this is the same reason why I loved video games. But I had a point one time where I was addicted to video games. And by the way, if I'm stuttering over my words, give me a break. It's 40 degrees Fahrenheit out here. um, so yeah, it's kind of messing with my mouth, I guess. But anyways, on to the point. So I had a time where I was addicted to video games, but the moment I stopped being addicted to it, that was when I was like, yeah, the world I'm looking at is beautiful. Yeah, it's cool. It's obviously better than this world. But I'm not inside of it. And if I'm not inside of it, it doesn't do it for me anymore. When I first started video games as a kid, it felt like I was inside of it because that was a new experience, having never played a game before. But the more and more you do it, the more and more you're just consuming. And the ways that these companies that make these things, whether it be video games, anime, TV, you see through, the ways they just try to milk things for money. And the older you become in general, it's just very apparent that it's all just for money. It's a business. And what is business? Something that's grounded in this realm, this earthly realm. That's why it doesn't do it for me anymore. Anime, TV, video games, movies, I don't care about any of that stuff anymore. Because it tricks you into thinking that it's above and beyond this earthly realm. but it's not. It's all tied to business, it's all tied to things that are a part of this earthly realm. So it feels like the only time I get real peace and enjoyment in this world is when I drift into my own imagination. That's it. The rest of this stuff, I don't care about this stuff. I don't. And I actually tried to explain this to my brother, and he was like, yeah, I'm not really sure if I can actually understand you, you know? Like, video games, it's for fun, man. You escape. But, you know, obviously, this is just my own perspective. Even people that watch my channel, people that watch my videos, I'm not really expecting people to understand what I mean by this. Because, you know, the way we work, the way we function, the way our minds work, it's all vastly different. So, you know, I try my best to explain what it is. I tried. But, you know, it just doesn't work sometimes. If you understand, then that's cool. You understand, I guess. Beautiful. If you don't, that's cool. I don't really care. I tried my best to explain it. And you'll still have an idiot commenting and trying to argue with me about this. Like, what's the point? I'm not making something that's worth arguing about. Like, this is not an argument, guys. This is just my own perspective, right? So, I don't know. I don't know if you guys can actually, I don't know if people will understand what I'm saying, but again, it is what it is. But again, when you look at all of these things this world has to offer, all of these systems, dating, socializing, friends, jobs, relationships, businesses, corporations, politics, social issues, climate change, I don't care. This is not my world. It's not. And I'm not saying that to be edgy. I'm saying that because it genuinely feels like I'm trapped inside of a physical world while the real me is inside of this imaginary world. Or I wouldn't even call it imaginary, I would just call it my own world. That's where the real me resides. The real me does not reside in this physical world. The real me is not this voice that you hear. I never chose this voice. This voice, as much as people say, oh, this is a nice voice you have, this voice is not me. The only thing that is me is my mind, my consciousness. The external self is not me. Me is only the internal self. That's it. So, the way I see it, I was dropped into a realm that does not belong to me. Well, actually, it's kind of like this. Have you guys ever watched Attack on Titan? Basically, there's like walls. I don't really care about this show, by the way, but I'm just using it as an example. Basically, there's a bunch of walls, and then there's an outside world full of Titans. You know, the real me is the outside world, but I'm trapped behind these walls. That's the best way I can explain it. And I'm trapped inside the deepest wall. The deepest, very deepest wall. And that wall, being this disgusting system, this disgusting world. But I don't belong here. I belong, I deserve to be roaming free. This is not my world. This is just a world that two humans, gave to me. A world that two people forced me into. This ain't the place for me, guys. And this ain't the place for you either. The best I can say, or the most I can say, don't let them in your mind. Don't let this disgusting realm in your mind.